Hello and welcome to episode 41 of Typical Chicago Fans, presented by The Loop Sports. I am Zach Lilia, and you can follow me on Twitter at ZLilja, Lilja, TCF. We said we were going to change it. Never changed it. Never got around.
We are actually back earlier than we said we would be, too. We had the itch. We couldn't.
We had the itch. We can follow the main page at Typical_Chicago. You follow The Loop Sports at The Loop_Sports. Facebook, we do a weekday show on there. We're going to get that back going next week. So between Tuesday and Thursday, look for that to be on Typical Chicago Fans Facebook, usually shared by The Loop Sports. Facebook, go on there. We have all of our blogs on there too, on both Typical Chicago, on The Loop Sports, Twitter and Facebook if you're looking for that. And Instagram, Typical Chicago Fans, The Loop Sports.
Make sure you follow me on Twitter at BoomingTCF. If you're an Apple user, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review there. If you're not like myself, you can find us on Spotify. Make sure you follow to our podcast there, and update you every time. You can even download it, take it with you when you have crappy service, because I've learned all about that this week traveling to Nashville. And also make sure you head over to the YouTube page. We put up all of our weekly shows, and as you can see, for those of you watching on the YouTube page, we are now video recording ourselves as we record each podcast. So head on over to the YouTube page and smash that red subscribe button. But happy birthday, America. We're here, 4th of July.
3rd of July, but we're going to drop this on the 4th of July, like we said. We said we were going to take a little bit more time off, but we got
You were texting me like 3 days after we said that. I was in Nashville, and you were texting me like, I kind of want to do a podcast. And you wanted me to do one, was it Monday night after I drove home from Nashville?
I didn't know
and I was like, whoa, I don't know. The way my weekend went, that's probably not a great idea. But here we are. We only took a week off instead of the 10 days, and barely even a week, I think. I don't even know. Was it Wednesday we did the show? So, yes, 6 days.
6 days.
And we've been planning it for a little bit, but we have a ton to talk about today. I mean, NBA free agency is going nuts. Cubs and Sox are kind of clicking right now and playing a ton every day. And then just a bunch of good stuff, man.
First of all, let's get into what's your plans for the 4th of July?
I've got a couple family things to take care of. We have a friends get-together on Saturday. They kind of push it off to the weekend. So that part will be kind of cool to, kick back with the boys and all of our wives and girlfriends and things like that on Saturday. But tomorrow, kind of just about the families, going to a family cookout on my side, and then going to a family cookout on the wife's side. And then I'm not a big firework guy. Like, we live out here in the country, and I always just climb the grain bins outside and just watch.
Maybe that's a little dangerous.
Take a couple beers up there with me and just enjoy.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, it really isn't. I got to go on the smaller one. The 25-foot one got a little bit sketchy after a couple years. So
a couple beers or a couple years?
Both, yes. What about you? What do you got going on tomorrow?
I'm picking up a buddy early, so I am going to get up early, get some breakfast in me. Then about 2 o'clock, we got a beer Olympics going on. So,
yeah. I might be swinging by that on the way home. And then, see what kind of shape you're in.
Well, yeah, we'll see what we're doing at nighttime. Maybe find some fireworks. They really spread out the fireworks this year. There's only about 3 places locally that I know of that are going to be fireworks tomorrow night. Mendota did theirs during the weekend. Other towns are doing theirs like tomorrow night.
Tonight.
Tonight. Tomorrow night.
This coming
5th,
weekend.
6th, all the way to the weekend, they're going to be fireworks. So
which I actually don't mind. That's kind of cool because, like, if you really are, like I said, I'm not into fireworks. Like, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. But, like, if you have little kids that like it, or you, for some reason, as an adult, really enjoy fireworks, you can catch them, like, every night of the week if you want.
Yeah, really just hanging out with friends. Everyone's going to be around.
Eating good food, drinking good beer, playing some yard games.
You said hanging out with family. My family parents are going on a little bit of a trip they've abandoned me, so they are going to be gone for the whole weekend too. Hanging out with some friends. Nice little 4-day weekend is what it's going to be. I don't know if everyone has Friday off, but I do. And it would suck if you did not.
I've got all summer off, so yeah.
Oh well, yeah, for you. But
exactly.
I was making a joke. It's going to be a good 4th of July weekend. It sucks on a Thursday. You wish it was on a Friday, but for some of us, it gets turned into a 4-day weekend. And hopefully everyone goes out, has some fun. And like I said, happy birthday, America. But let's get into it. Sinkers and floaters. My floater is being an NBA player right now. If you are even in Ryan Arcidiacono, 3 years, $9 million. It's a whatever contract. It's nothing. That's as low as you're probably going to see in the NBA.
That's a peon contract.
And that
in
is
the NBA.
life-changing.
Yes.
$9 million over 3 years is life-changing for anybody. 3 year,
Yes.
$3 million a year to be Ryan Arcidiacono is crazy. But in the NBA scheme of things, it's nothing.
Right. It means it's so little.
Yeah. I
you
mean,
know,
look at
as
Jamal.
compared to,
I have Jamal Murray. 2020, he's going to make $29 million.
Yeah.
2021, 31. 2022, 33. In the next 2 years, 36. Over 5 years, he's going to make $170 million.
Yes. And some
That's
backup point guard
insane.
is still going to
He
make.
averages 14 points for his career, averaged 18 points last year, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, it's not like he has crazy great stats.
Right.
I'm not saying he's not going to be a great player going forward, but it's just crazy that
Well, that's what you call
these NBA
generational wealth. Like, he's going to make money that will support his grandkids and his great-grandkids.
There's nothing wrong with it. I
no,
mean, it's awesome
but it's
to
a
see.
great time to be getting a contract.
But yeah, to be an NBA player
Yes.
is what it's a great time to be right now, because I mean, baseball players ain't getting that money, and I understand it's what your sport brings in, and I guess there's only 5 or what? It's 5. There's only 10 to 12 players you pay on a deal, so you get more of a cap space. But it's just crazy what these. I wouldn't say Jamal Murray is an average player, but some of these average players are getting. It's just
especially
crazy.
veterans. Veterans get a minimum, and then it's just like, you know, you are talking really, really, really good money.
We'll get more into some maybe crappy contracts on my sinker, but I'll let you go.
All right, my sinker is consumers of rat meat. I know you probably don't think that there's a ton of them out there, but apparently there is, because U.S. rat.
Meat.
Like rat. Like,
oh, my
God.
God.
And this actually happened at O'Hare. U.S. Custom agent seized rat meat at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. A man declared that he had 32 pounds of meat on a June 26 flight that arrived from the Ivory Coast. They were confiscated and destroyed because you cannot bring in African rat meat. So if you're out there looking for
keeping rat meat anywhere, that should be a law. It's disgusting.
So like, rats carry a ton of diseases. Why is like this guy should be put in a containment room and like hosed down until until he's glistening. Yeah, like, clean this man off. 32 pounds. You know how many rats you have to kill to get 32 pounds of rat meat?
That's disgusting.
That is disgusting. So, unfortunately, if you're looking for some rat meat to grill up over the 4th of July in Chicago, you're going to have a hard time because the rat meat plug got pinched at the airport. So, sorry about that.
That's tough for the
That is
old,
tough.
Rat meat plug, but that's just disgusting. What are you thinking? What are you doing? That's just the worst.
And
that's
here's
the
my
grossest thing ever.
Why, like, you're coming into Chicago, you couldn't get rats in Chicago? You had to go to Africa to get them?
I don't.
Come on, man.
Disgusting. It's disgusting. Well, you want to go with yours?
Sure, what the heck. My floater. Oh, I also had one more sinker, and that's England. Not only did the U.S. women's national team beat them the other day, it's now our birthday.
Is it Pierre Morgan?
Piers
Morgan. Freaking, ugh.
Yeah.
Just being rude about it.
They lose to the U.S. on Tuesday, and then we celebrate kicking their ass in 1776 on Thursday.
When Alex Morgan did the tea thing, he's like, "That's dope."
No,
no,
that
it's
was
not.
so
You
funny.
don't put your finger up like that when you're smoking a joint. You do that when you're drinking tea. Shut your mouth. That's why we did it.
All right.
I thought it was awesome.
My floater is Alabama prisoners, because they are turning up lately. The Alabama sheriff says jail inmates were caught making truly disgusting alcohol made out of fermenting vegetables. They stopped giving them fruit because they were making like jailhouse wine out of it. And these gross prisoners were making alcohol out of fermented vegetables. Could you imagine how disgusting? I know I'm kind of going on a gross path, but like, these guys were willing to do anything just to get a little turn up going, and that's what they were doing. They were using vegetables, fermenting them in their prison cells to make bootleg moonshine in prison. So good for them. You got a party. They knew they were getting close to the 4th of July. They wanted to turn up a little bit too, just like the rest of us.
In a wacky way, in a crazy way.
Yes.
But my sinker is the New York Knicks. I will tell you, they signed Alfred Payton, 2 years, $16 million. Reggie Bullock, 2 years, $21 million. Julius Randle, 3 years, $63 million. Taj Gibson, 2 years, $20 million. Bobby Portis, 2 years, $31 million. Wayne Ellington, 2 years, $16 million. Jared Dudley, 1 year, $2.6 million. But they were not willing.
He went to the Lakers, not the Knicks.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's true. I don't even know why I put.
But no, you're not wrong.
I think I meant to put that on my thing.
Moves.
No, but when I was going to get there, sorry, after I screwed that all up, they weren't willing to give KD the max because
Kevin Durant wasn't worth
his
it.
injury was going to get in the way. But we are going to sign all of those contracts, which are going to end up being probably all awful.
Yes.
I'm not saying Taj Gibson isn't good for 2 years.
They also signed 3 guys to big
year.
deals that play the same damn position.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No. And I don't know about if you've seen this.
James Dolan needs to be fired.
James Dolan should have been fired 3 or 4 years ago.
Fired.
I agree. Did you also see? I saw a rumor that the strong leaning is that Carmelo Anthony may return to the Knicks.
Yeah. Did you see the clip of Stephen A. when they somebody called in and goes, "Oh no, not all hope is gone. Carmelo's out there," and he just goes, "Go to hell." Go to hell.
I did not see that.
I'm done. I mean, Stephen A. though, he has turned into a character that I like. And I just love his the way he goes about stuff.
Yeah.
And he was pretty hilarious with the whole New York Knicks thing the next day after not getting any players. He played it up pretty well.
He took that jersey from Max Kellerman and threw it across
the room, and he was like hugging people and sad all day, and I don't want to talk to anybody. And his radio show is pretty hilarious with the calls. So I think it's pretty funny that he has kind of leaned into the pitch, and
Definitely.
he is really going with that. But the Knicks also, they make the Bulls not look so bad.
Yeah.
But let's get into that. Let's get into some free agency talk. KD, Kyrie go to the Nets. DeAndre Jordan also goes to the Nets. Kemba to the Celtics. As I see, Enes Kanter is also going to the Celtics.
I haven't. Let me look that one up.
seen
I
who-
wasn't 100% sure if that deal was done, but like you kind of nailed it.
Taco Fall also got a 10-day contract with the Celtics.
Yes, Enes Kanter says he's a Celtic. So.
Going to be a Celtics. Malcolm Brogdon to the Pacers. One of the guys of the Bulls I wish they could have gotten. That Pacers team is going to be good with Oladipo coming back. Jimmy Butler to the Heat. I don't know if he does. He just doesn't care about winning. He wants the money.
First thing he does is he gets Hassan Whiteside traded to Portland. Literally 10 minutes
Myers
after he
Leonard traded to the Heat.
Yeah, but as soon as, of course, Jimmy Butler causing problems already. Literally the first day he gets into town, and then he gets Hassan Whiteside.
I don't know if that was really him or the organization kind of moving on from that.
He was also a free agent, so I think it was a sign and trade. But still, they kind of knew that Jimmy Butler and Hassan Whiteside were not going to get along. So because
Jimmy
of that
Butler
addition,
and nobody can get along.
And
so.
here's what I found funny: Jimmy Butler said that he wants to go somewhere to win. Dude,
No.
you are not winning in Miami right now. So
Everything-
that was all about the money. Stop trying to act like
everything
you
that Jimmy
think
Butler
Miami's
has
gonna
ever
win
preached
something.
about wanting to win and go to an organization where you want to win. The Miami Heat are in no place to win. You took the money. You could have stayed in Philadelphia. And it was just, it just proves to you that all he cares about is the money.
Exactly. And
it's
living
what
in
this
Miami, Florida.
That's that's whatever.
Right.
If you want to go
but
do
say,
that.
like, come out and be a man about it. That's
Yeah.
my problem. But I also don't like Jimmy Butler, so that's just
And he'll never
beyond
be a
that.
number one. He's their best player right now, and he will never win a championship on a team where he is the best player.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. He's a 2. He's not a number 1. He's proved that in Chicago, Minnesota, and Philadelphia.
Yes.
So I don't know what's going to change down in Miami. Nothing's going to change except the amount of money in his checking account, bank account.
We knew what you meant.
I don't know.
Like my thing is like, did you see the Klay Thompson was staying in Golden State?
I love
5
it.
years, $190 million. I believe he's going to be the highest paid player in the NBA. Don't quote me on that. And there's a good chance he doesn't even play next year. So but that kind of shows you that's that whole clause that the NBA put in where they reward loyalty. They reward guys for staying in the cities that they're already signed in. And you saw Klay Thompson take advantage of that. So good for him. He got his money, and I think he's probably going to be a Warrior for life. But
We
just
got Al
the moves
Horford going to the Sixers.
Yes.
The Lopez brothers teaming up in Milwaukee. Brooke was already there.
and
Robin
also
going
Chris
there.
Middleton staying in Milwaukee. That
Chris
one's
Middleton,
big.
but
for,
Malcolm Brogdon leaving is a big loss
Yeah.
for the Bucks. That's going to affect them going forward. Nico Mirčić going back to Europe. To play a little weird there. I don't know if thought he could get more money that way, but he is back in Europe.
I also think
basketball.
he's a bigger celebrity in Europe.
Yeah,
because
but
remember
still,
he won some championships
It's
there.
still though. It's still not the NBA,
Right.
and you would think you'd want
But
to be
endorsement
in the NBA.
money-
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. You'd think that endorsement money will always be there over in Europe.
Right.
You know what I mean? He could do that 2 or 3 years after he goes and plays in the NBA. But, I mean, he must have his views. He wants to build maybe up the Europe League or something like that. I don't really know what his thought is there.
It also might be moving from playing a starter's role to, he was probably going to be playing off the bench more. And in Europe, he's going to be the dude. Like, he's going to be a star there. So I feel like with him, that might have something to do with it. Just knowing, kind of his personality being around the Bulls. What'd you think about the whole Terry Rozier going to the Hornets?
Yeah, I mean,
that was a name we talked about
nice
quite a bit.
Nice little pickup. The Hornets still need a lot of work. It was tough when they lost Kemba. Michael Jordan hasn't done the greatest at running a basketball team.
Yep.
Draft picks and free agent signings, but I think this is a good signing for them. I think he's going to like it down there. I think he's going to be playing a lot. He's going to be their starter. So that is what he wanted, and that's the position he's going to get there. So I think that was one of the main reasons he went there.
For sure.
Like I said, another guy the Bulls wish they would have got. Sadly, D. Rose is a Detroit Piston now.
And that makes me sad.
He's with one of my favorite players in the NBA, Blake Griffin, so I'm happy about that.
It just makes you sad because I wanted to see him go to a team that he can win a title, and I don't think Detroit is that team. But, if you could take the most money or whatever the case is.
And he's going to get some playing time. So
Yep.
I think, like I said, he was looking at it from that, just like Terry Rozier was. They're going to give him the best opportunity to play. Maybe not the best opportunity to win, but he is going to get a lot of playing time.
Some of the coolest things that I just kind of picked up on this. I've been following this a ton. Like I said, I was on vacation, getting Twitter refreshed all the time. Was that the ability to reload by some of the power teams. Like the biggest ones that jumped out to me were the Warriors. They lose Kevin Durant, but they turn around and they trade for D'Angelo Russell, who had a huge year. One of his, statistically, it was his best year in the NBA. He's a growing star at the guard position. And then you also see Boston lose out on a guy like Kyrie, but they turn right around and get Kemba. It's just moves like that. Now, they're going to have some work to do. They're really hoping Gordon Hayward's going to have a kind of bounce back year. But, they lose Al Horford, but they bounce back. They don't just take that punch in the chin, kind of like the Cavaliers did when they lost LeBron, where they just went, right down the tank the first time.
At least they had some pieces to work around. I mean,
right.
The Cavaliers really had nothing to work
exactly.
around.
So
they lost everything in LeBron.
Like, I don't think that as it sits now, and it'll be interesting to see where Kawhi does end up, and we'll talk about that in a second, but if, the Warriors are still going to be a contender. Now, I don't think they're the team to beat in the West necessarily
anymore. No, I think the West
anymore.
is wide open right now because Houston has their own problems with Chris Paul and James Harden not getting along. The Knicks turned down the Chris Paul deal, which is actually smart for them, which was a weird move. You thought they would have brought him on because that's a Knicks move.
And then you also see in who was it? Portland. They turn around and get Hassan Whiteside for 2 backups. Hassan Whiteside is a damn good center, and they have C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard, and they've got a good core there too. Like, I think that's wide open. Boston, same thing. It could go either way, but you add Kemba Walker back into that mix, and if Gordon Hayward has another good year, has a bounce back year, he didn't have a good year, but there's definitely some moves to be made. And I just love that it kind of shakes up and gives it. Does it feel like there's a little bit more parity, like things have kind of evened out in the NBA because of free agency?
We'll see. Like you said, with Kawhi, if Kawhi goes to the Lakers, it's pretty much back to a super team. If he goes anywhere else, really like the Clippers, then it will open up the NBA a lot more. I think, really and truthfully, if Kawhi goes to the Lakers, the West is going to be taken over by them, just like it was with the Warriors, because that's going to be an unstoppable team. They're going to bring in people that they want. Whoever wants to go win a title is going to go there now because you got Kawhi, AD, and LeBron James leading your team, and it's Los Angeles. So it really depends on where Kawhi wants to go, how open or closed the NBA will be in competitiveness. Because either way, the East is going to be competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. Even more competitive. I think Philly might be the team to beat if they can find a guard. Right now, they're super big man heavy. Like, I want to say they have no one under 6'6" in the starting lineup. So it'll be interesting to see if they can pull a guard out of that.
They need to bring in a point guard because they say no. Ben Simmons can bring the ball up, but you don't want He'd rather him not have to bring up the ball all the time.
And I think it's interesting because I even think that as, you know, a LeBron fan that watches the Lakers, even if they get Kawhi, as of right now, there's not a lot of pieces there in Los Angeles to make them an automatic finals contender.
No, but it will bring in those pieces.
Yeah, you'll find a guy like
whoever
Rondo
you wanted is going to come if you want them, because with that top three, with even with LeBron and AD, they're still going to be who can go out and get who they want, handpick them, because you have an opportunity there with a rising. KD's in his prime, AD's in his prime right now.
Kawhi's in his prime.
LeBron's still a great player, top 3 player, top 2 player in the league. So that would be. It really comes down to where he goes, and then we go from there. I mean, we also have DeMarcus Cousins is still out there.
He will not be going back to the Warriors
No, he will not be going back, which I think that he went there to kind of rise his stock a little bit. Really didn't work that well, but I think he wants to go get a big-time deal, and I don't think the Warriors are going to give him that, which is whatever. Really understandable that with the direction they're going in, they don't really want to put so much money in a big man like that.
For sure.
But let's do the Bulls. They got Thaddeus Young, 3 years.
Yes.
3 years. I forget the amount of money on that. If a Boomy, my stats guy, can.
I'm working on it right here for you.
I guess it would just be information, man. While we were looking at that, Tomas Satoransky, 3 years, $30 million sign and trade with the Wizards. This just means Chris Dunn is gone. It's going to be him and Kobe White. I think Kobe White will maybe be the starter. Maybe this guy will be the starter. Who knows? But I'm excited for a different point guard position players and guys that going forward are going to be there, because Chris Dunn, you just really kind of could tell he was never going to be there for the future.
3 years, on average, about $13.5 million a year.
Which is fine. Because
for a guy who's 30 right now, not terrible.
I would say there is not a single NBA contract that you could show me which I would go, this is going to ruin a team, because the amount of cap space you have, the contracts that are going on. I guess there is a crazy number that you could go to, but really and truthfully, the money really makes no difference. I mean, in baseball, it really does. In football and stuff like that, where there's so many, but the cap space is wild in the NBA. And
I like to say I'm gonna butcher this name. Satoransky.
I'm just gonna say Tomas.
Tomas, probably. He's got that Eastern European look, but he's 6'7", can play the point guard through the forward. I mean, I've seen videos of him doing everything and get the ball to the rim.
He can finish at the rim too.
Exactly. He's only 27 years old.
It was supposed to be funny about the he's the best dunker on the team now. Zach LaVine. Funny, but no. We also have
his deal was cheap too. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to look it up.
Luke Cornett, 7'1". Not sure if he can dunk. I think his overall shooting percentage is like in the low 40s, high 30s, which is bad
for a center.
Guy. But that's his shooting percentage within the 3-point arc.
Yeah.
Because you should think that you'd be finishing at the rim a lot better, dunking. I just don't think he can really finish around the rim, which is a little weird for a 7'1" guy. But he is some length down there with Wendell Carter, who had surgery on his core. He is going to be back before training camp, but
here's a nice thing about Luke Cornett, though. Kind of like we talked about when it came to the draft. Our dumb brains. He's over 7 foot. How can he not be good?
Can't jump. That maybe is
but he
one
doesn't
way.
Have to, right?
You would think, but apparently he does. And maybe he'll be some length on defense. Who really knows? I don't. They gave him maybe a few $1 million to become.
Yeah.
Ryan Arcidiacono, like I said at the beginning, 3 years, $9 million. I think Felicio and Chris Dunn will be gone. There's really no need for them now with the signings. I think Chris Dunn will not be on this team once.
Yeah, I did hear they're looking to trade him, which I'm perfectly okay with.
And Felicio, I mean, I don't know what you're going to do with him. Really, You could maybe trade him in a deal. Maybe they could put him in a deal with Chris Dunn.
Yeah.
But, I think you're going to have to kind of eat that money because there's no one that wants that, which is very, very understandable. But I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say it. I think the Bulls made some good moves. It's nothing that's going to take them over the top, but I think they're going to be maybe at least exciting this upcoming year.
Yeah.
Because really, truthfully, this NBA draft lottery showed us there is no such thing as good tanking in the NBA.
Definitely.
The top 4 or 5 teams that tanked did not get who they wanted. It's going to keep going that way because of the odds that they changed it to. So I think they made some good moves. It's not, like you said, not crazy moves. You didn't sign any crazy superstars. I think Thaddeus Young's the best player you signed.
Yeah.
And everyone was kind of crazy about the money, but like I said, who cares?
You got to spend it.
I mean, you're spending money. You got that money. Might as well do something with it, and maybe it'll turn into a decent year and maybe can attract another good player because, like I said, the East is pretty open right now. With the 76ers probably being the best, maybe the Raptors. Who knows what happens with Kawhi?
So open.
So I think that
Maybe
it could be exciting. The Pacers, it could be an exciting run because let's say you get in as a 7th or 6th seed or maybe an 8th seed, you could maybe make a run because the teams are going to be a lot more even. We've got the Bucks too.
Exactly.
So it's going to be exciting, I think, for the Bulls at least going forward. Maybe not like Jim Boylan, but we're going to have to get over that and just try to have some fun with him.
For sure. I think, like you said, the biggest thing is how open the East is. And, you can't look at one definitive team and be like, this is the best team in the East. It's really, really wide open. And I think that's going to be a big factor here. And that I think the Bulls got better with these free agent signings. They picked up guys who don't play. I mean, Thaddeus Young, I believe, started in Indy. But, Tomas and Luke Cornett didn't start, but they played good minutes. And I think that you're going to find guys that are good enough to get them at least into a playoff berth and see what you can do. I feel like they're kind of traveling down that path that like the Orlando Magic were on this year. They sneak in as an 8 seed, they upset a 1 seed, and then who the hell knows what's going to happen. But you got to keep building because kind of like, again, getting to what you said, there's no such thing as a sure thing in the NBA right now. You're not guaranteed to get that pick, so try and get in the playoffs and see what happens and keep building those young guys.
Yeah, I think, like I said, the Bulls have made themselves exciting for next year, watchable for next year, and hopefully may bring somebody in.
Yeah, and I think the other big takeaway I had was there was no like Dwayne Wade signing. There was no like Rajon Rondo where they say they're going to get younger and then they go sign some aging veteran.
Seem like
I like that.
They're going to be here for the future.
Yeah, and Rajon, I mean, granted, Thad Young is 30, but I mean, I feel like they didn't pay him as much, and it's just. You have to spend that money somewhere, and I feel like Thad Young will be just fine and worth the money that you're paying him.
If you want to maybe spend some money of your own, though, and maybe go to a Bulls game or an upcoming White Sox Cubs game, Boomy, can you tell me where you would want to go get those tickets?
I actually just used this place the other day, and that is our friends over at SeatGeek. I used them to get our tickets for the Nashville Sound minor league game. Nice and cheap, nice and easy. SeatGeek is a ticket search engine that never loses sight of the fan experience. Simply go to their website or download their app, type in the name of a team, and then choose the date that you're looking to attend. I'm actually in the process of that right now. I'm planning out my trip out east. And when you do that, you go to their website, go to their app. SeatGeek will present you with a graphic chart of the stadium where you can then choose your seats and tickets based on a score system that determines the best value. If you've never used SeatGeek before, we've partnered with them to give you a great deal. Apply the coupon code TheLoopSports at checkout and take $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek. The $20, guys, come on. A $50 night for two at the ballpark becomes $30, or a $23 trip by yourself turns into just $3 with the coupon code TheLoopSports in all capital letters. You have no excuse to not go out and root on your favorite team. Just apply the coupon code TheLoopSports at checkout and have a great time on us. Shout out to SeatGeek for partnering with us here at The Loop Sports and typical Chicago fans.
Like you said, if you want to go out to a future Bulls game next year, that can be more exciting to watch, or Cubs Sox, they play Saturday and Sunday. Or if you want to go to a minor league game, like you were saying, go to SeatGeek for the best ticket prices. Let's go into it. The Cubs, 45-41, but they're playing the Pirates right now in the bottom of the ninth. We got Craig Kimbrell on the mound. Hopefully we get to 46-41. But there were one game out of first place right now. I had seen the Brewers were losing tonight, so that could change. With the way they're playing right now, they're lucky to be only one game out of first place.
For sure.
They're like 16-29 on the road this year, and they just made a okay. But, yeah, the starting pitching really struggling right now. Hamill's out. Hendricks just coming back from injury.
25.
What?
16-25 on the road. Sorry.
16.
I gave you the
16.
wrong number.
And they got Hamels hurt. Lester's been struggling a little bit. Darvish had a good outing tonight, but still kind of struggled a little bit there. Quintana, he's been back and forth. Still pitches well. Still trust him. This starting lineup, I mean, we had Adbert Alzolay come in, pitched a good first game, had a rough outing in the second game, and he got sent back down to AAA. Going to give him maybe a few starts down there. I think he will be back up soon because we're going to need him. Tyler Chatwood, tough outing too. Him and Adbert split a game and ended up bad for Chatwood not pitched very well. Adbert did pitch very well, but in the next game he had struggled the first few innings, and it just wasn't there. He just didn't have it. They were on everything he was throwing. So hopefully maybe he can come back up. I'm not worried about it. I still think he's going to be a good pitcher.
Yeah.
But maybe send him back down, let him get a little bit of a rest here. Not rest, but a little bit more reps is what I meant to say before, because we're at the All-Star break, so I don't really know how that works for the minor leagues. They're probably still playing a little bit. Maybe he can get a start or two down there. And what I was thinking about this All-Star team, we have Wilson, we got KB, we got Javi. I wish none of those guys were in the All-Star game. As much as you hate to say it, I just want our guys to just go get away from baseball for a few days, not think about it.
It's hard to argue with. I don't. But
it's
disagree.
also hard to argue with not being. You sound like a fan that I would hate to listen to that goes on. Oh, I'd hate to have 3 All-Star players, but in the fact, I love how they're All-Stars, and the White Sox also have 3 All-Stars. But it's the fact that we're in a spot where we're kind of wavering a little bit. We're, like I said, 45 and 41 at the moment, right around 500. You really need these. Sorry, they just tied it up. I'm a little flustered right now. But like I said, 29 games in the month of June for the Cubs, most in the NL. I know we always go on about stuff like that. We played too many games in a row. But what are your thoughts on the Cubs recently?
All right, my biggest thing, and I'm a big Joe Maddon guy. I love Joe Maddon, but for the love of God, can we stop with all the nonsense? Like, I'm getting so tired of seeing Addison Russell's bum ass at second base. He can't hit. And I love Albert Almora Jr., but right now he is in a slump. And continuing to put him out there and watch him ground back to the damn pitcher is not what's best for him right now. And I'm getting tired of seeing these BS lineups. Wilson Contreras in right field. I mean, I'm not trying to be dramatic about this, but if anybody's in right field right now, if Chris Bryant, I know there's rumors that he's hurt and all this stuff.
No, him and Hayward did not play because of injury.
Okay, but like we have a catcher playing right field right now, and the ball was hit into right field and dropped that should have been an out. Like, I'm getting so tired. Just put the best guys in there that when they're healthy. Like, stop trying to force Addison Russell in. He's a square getting slammed into a circle peg. Like, stop trying to force things that don't need to be forced right now. But I understand when injuries happen. I don't disagree there. But I feel like right now Addison Russell and Albert Almora Jr. are reserves to me.
But what I also say is who you're going to put. I mean,
David Bote should be in the lineup every damn day.
I get that, but I think
if he's not at second, then put him in the outfield.
I get what you mean. But he also can go on what you would say a Daniel Descalso move is. You see him every single day, you're going to start to catch up. He's a type of guy that he plays every 2 days. And I'm not saying it. I just don't. Everyone says put David Bote in. I just don't see it being that quick of a fix. Yes, I think David Bote would do well, but he's still not hitting that great either.
Yeah.
And yes, he's good at Uh-oh.
And we're going to find the end of this game here real quick. God damn it, the Cubs just lost. Craig Kimbrell with the blown save.
That's not his fault. God damn it. That's tough. It's the one you really needed. But what I was saying about David Bote, yeah, you love his defense, but I just don't think it's that quick. We asked you could put him in the lineup, but I don't think it's that quick of a fix. I think we're going to have to go maybe find another hitter. Hopefully, was it Robel Garcia?
Yeah.
He pinch hit tonight. It was a tough. I don't know if he actually check swung. But he was called out on strikes. But it's just one of those things. We get so mad about Elmore and Addison Russell, but there's not like at the beginning of the year, we like, we have all these players on the reserves. We have all the players on the bench. But now you're grabbing for David Bote, which you hope is planning to play well, but it has never consistently played well.
Right.
And we're
but at the same time, I mean, he is batting .263, and Addison Russell is at .248. And David Bote also has a lot more plate appearances. But, like, I don't know. I just feel like
I'm not saying
there's
you're
no
wrong about
consistency right now.
Addison Russell or Albert. But I'm just saying it's not like we're just going to go, we'll just throw David Bote in there. Hopefully it works, but it's one of those things. He's a hard guy to rely on to consistently do well.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that what I'm trying to say is I think that they're going to have to go out and maybe make a move by the end of the month, which is the trade deadline, and maybe get another batter because Descalso
needs to
done.
leave.
He's done.
He needs to leave. He's batting a .186. He's getting on base at a 285 mark. He stinks. Get rid of his bum ass. I'm tired of seeing – I don't even want to see him in the dugout. I don't want to see him at Iowa. Put him on the quickest thing moving out of town.
Yeah.
Get him out. And they just did it with Carlos Gonzalez. They only let him stick around for, 15 games is all he played. He's already been DFA'd.
That's what should have happened, but that it should also happen with him. And it would just free up a room for maybe to bring up Ian Happ and see what he can do. I don't know.
I'd rather see Ian Happ out there than Daniel Descalso.
You're gonna have to try some things else. And one of those things is not putting Wilson Contreras in right field.
Yes.
And yes, he made a diving.
Now tonight was just because Jason Hayward's out, and then who's usually the backup in right? It's usually KB who was out. So really, he was the only option.
But
left tonight.
You say that, but who came in and pinch hit tonight?
Robel, but from what I heard, he didn't get to the stadium until a couple hours before the game.
I understand that, but he has just recently played left field, outfield for the Iowa Cubs.
I don't disagree.
I'm just saying, defensively, maybe at the end of the game, put in somebody that you would trust.
Especially as many double switches and things that Joe does in the defensive replacements. I don't disagree, but I know not sure exactly what time. If he didn't get to the stadium till 4 o'clock for a 6 o'clock game, then that could be a different
you could
story.
get that too, but still, you think you want to put? He's never played a game in right field. The only time he's ever played outfield is left field.
Yeah,
and you're thrown out there in a game, and you had an opportunity, like you said, maybe you got there at 4 o'clock. Put him in the ninth inning. Put him in the eighth inning. Don't DH.
Especially for a kid who's used to playing.
Yeah, for playing the outfield, and it's just one of those things. It's one of those moves you're going to look back at, and you're going to kind of scratch your head at it.
And I hate to be this guy, but if the Cubs continue this slide, is Joe going to lose his job? Because Theo sounds pissed. He is done with all the BS, all the talking. And this was something we talked about all throughout the preseason. If it's I think Theo even talked about, all of the new rules and stuff. Like, is this something that maybe Joe Maddon needs to be in a little bit of fear of?
If I get the whole job thing, I don't even look at it that. This team needs to own up to what they're doing. They cannot get runners in scoring position. They have supposedly some of the best hitters in the league, but they cannot all consistently do it. A guy like Jason Hayward is the guy we've complained about for the last few years. He's having one of the best years he's had in a long time, and we're still struggling.
Yep.
We got Javi Baez, who hit, his 23rd home run tonight? Rizzo has not hit a home run since that late one in L.A. He has not hit a home run since then. I think he's hit 200 since then. We just cannot get consistently going at the same time. And it's not just this year. It's last year into this year. No one could stay consistent last year. No one could consistently go at the same time. And it's this team, as much as we want to go point the finger at Joe, at some point the offense is got to be at the finger pointed at them and realize that if they can do what they're supposed to do, this is maybe one of the explosive offenses in the league. And over the last month or two, they have just not come to play, it seems like.
I agree.
And I think that needs to be pointed at more than every time you turn on sports radio. Is Joe Maddon going to lose his job? Really and truthfully, what does it matter? If Joe Maddon loses his job, are we changing players? Are the players going to change? And yes, you can maybe change the lineup here and there. Wilson, yes, tonight. That was a little weird. I don't think that it's going to happen every time.
Yeah, that was a necessity thing.
The players still got to go out there and produce. And Joe Maddon or not, these guys are not. It seems like these guys just are not producing right now.
Exactly, and like you said, it does scare you a little bit because as of right now, the Cubs are the 9th worst team in baseball.
We're not 45
with
and 42.
runners left in scoring position.
They are 3 games over 500. They may still only be 1 game out of first place, which is where you want to get. You want to get to the playoffs. But they're lucky to be there, and I think that we're overstating the whole Joe Maddon. I don't mean to go off on a tangent.
No. I'm
really
with you. I do not think that's not gonna fix it.
Because
what's gonna fix it is these guys just pulling their heads out of their ass.
Yeah, and maybe
because right now they can't hit, they can't pitch. Maybe you go in there old school and just scream till someone gets pissed off enough to leave. If that's the case, then that's got to be it. But these guys got to pull their heads out of their ass. I'm tired of watching bad baseball. I'm tired of watching. And you know me, I'm a super optimistic Cubs fan. Like, if a guy like me is starting to get pissy about it, then something's wrong.
You preach October and March, and you go on into this and that, and then you get off to a start like you did. You turned it around. You won 10 series in a row or 9 series in a row, and then you just cannot find it. And you lose games like this, and this is why you signed Craig Kimbrell.
Yes,
and you just blew. It's just tough. But let's move on to the White Sox. We're gonna keep going about the Cubs for a long time.
Yeah, we'll be here too.
White Sox 40 and 42. They were down last time I seen the Tigers.
Yeah.
Dylan Cease made his debut today in Game 1. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned run, 4 walks, but 6 Ks. His breaking balls look nasty. He's got nasty stuff.
Sox are tied in the middle of the 8th right now.
So they may have a better record than the Cubs coming up here because this is it's getting ugly for the Cubs here. It's just really starting to get frustrating. I know you kind of caught us in a bad time because they had a lead going into the 9th inning, blew it. So that sucks. But they also have 3 All-Stars. Lucas Giolito, who is maybe the best pitcher in the league right now. James McCann, who is a great catcher, I think is going to be a great catcher for them going forward. And Jose Abreu, who is really, I think that they are going to keep him around for the same reasons that they kept Anthony Rizzo around.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the leader in the locker room.
Guy.
And, he's kind of got these guys under his wing a little bit. They trust him, so I think he could always go DH if you needed him to, or play first base. I think he could play first base for a few more years. So White Sox in a great spot right now. They got All-Stars. They got
young kids coming up.
Sadly, Tim Anderson is nursing an ankle. We don't know how long that's
10 days on right now, but
I think it's going to be a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
But either way, Eloy's playing well. You got Dylan Cease coming up.
I'm sorry, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's 4 to 6.
I forgot about that.
So they're going to reevaluate in 4 to 6 weeks. So it could be longer, but you definitely don't want to rush them back. Because this year, yes, you could maybe still make a little bit of a run here at the wild card, but it's
at the end of the day, you're
for
12 games out of first place and 5 games out of a wild card.
Yeah,
you don't want to rush them back and destroy any chances.
No, but it's exciting. Dylan Cease is going to have a lot more starts this year. Through 101 pitches today, I think, in the 100. So exciting for White Sox fans. They got a lot to look forward to. And
no. I don't mean to be poo-poo on the parade time. He looked good today. I watched the game, and his off-speed stuff looked really good. But it was against the Tigers.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you can say that about anybody. The Cubs have played teams that they should have beaten the last few days.
I don't disagree.
Really, and truthfully, in Major League Baseball right now, especially for a pitcher, if you go out there and it's your first game, you give up, 3 runs? You looked in control most of the time.
Definitely.
So,
it's things to look up.
Yeah, it was only the Tigers, but still, that's their division. That's their division.
Yeah.
You play them a lot, so. I think his next start is against Oakland. So so the White Sox and Cubs, it's going to be an interesting series this weekend.
Both
because
teams got to finish.
Both teams have got some bragging rights to look forward to. It's 1-1 right now. And the White Sox would love to come in here, sweep the Cubs, and make it even more miserable going into the All-Star break for us. But the Blackhawks, they made a big trade, 3 draft picks to the Montreal Canadiens for Andrew Shaw. The Mutt is back. He's excited to be back, and I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I
to
like
be back.
that.
I think we need that intensity on the team. Yes, like they say, he's a little bit he may have some dumb offensive penalties. He's always going full bore, but that's what this Blackhawks team needs, and that's why we love him, and I'm excited for that. They also got Robin Lanier.
Yes.
Robin Lanier. 1 year, $5 million from the Islanders. He's going to maybe be Crawford's backup. They also said he could be a tick ahead of him, so maybe Crawford could be his backup. But it's a great 1-2 punch for goalies, especially with Crawford, who his history with health,
For sure.
with injuries going forward, with concussions. So I am excited about that. It's a little bit of a cushion just in case something does happen. And maybe also it's going to be awesome having him a 1-2 punch every other night. You can put out one or the other, and you have two good goalies. Yes, $5 million, but it's worth it. And I love it. And I'm excited for the Blackhawks next year.
I really like the Ryan Carpenter signing. I saw that one. They re-signed David Camp, who's been with the team.
They did
but
what they needed.
Ryan Carpenter, 3-year contract. He's fun to watch. I like that move a lot.
They knew what they wanted. They got what they wanted. They got defense. They got offense. They filled every spot that they needed.
Yes.
And they are going to go into next year with a team that's going to contend for a playoff run, and it's exciting.
Definitely. I like the moves, and let's get back, to playoff contention and be around because, look, anything can happen, man. They proved it this year. There was one other move, and I have to look at it.
The Blackhawks made a move?
Yeah. Nope. Okay, I was curious. Oh, wait.
Breaking news from Boomy here.
So the Blackhawks traded for a kid named John Quenneville.
Oh, yeah.
And I was very concerned.
That was Joe Quenneville's son or something?
Yeah, it's not. It's his first cousin once removed. So I was a little worried that we traded for Joel Quenneville's son. I'm like, how does that look? You fire his dad, but you trade for him.
Like your son.
But it wasn't, so it's all good.
But yeah, the Blackhawks exciting next year, and they're going to be, I think, one of the best teams in the league next year. Hopefully, because they got, Taves and Kane, great years last year, and you filled some spots. You got Andrew Shaw back. Like I said, not going to be like the end. Like, it's not going to change all of it just to have Andrew Shaw back, but it will be nice. And we got some defense, which is what we needed very badly, and a goalie. So I think the Blackhawks really exceeded what people thought they were going to do.
Yep.
But with 4th of July coming up here, actually when you see this, it will be 4th of July. So we're going to do our top 5 TCF top 5 Americans in our eyes. We're not going. It's a little funny, a little serious. We'll see how it goes here. But I'm going to go first here.
All right.
My top. Well, this isn't like really like in a specific order, but
no.
Landon Donovan.
Oh, I like
one
that.
One of my favorite USA soccer players, MLS superstar,
That's
former
a good pick.
superstar. I'm very excited. I always loved Landon Donovan.
Yeah,
honestly,
you
as
were a soccer guy
player.
growing up too.
It was kind of funny. Kind of serious, but it was mostly funny. But yeah, Landon Donovan.
When I think United States men's soccer, I think Landon Donovan.
So there we go.
Very good. I like that one. My number one, I'm going to go Muhammad Ali. I used to have Muhammad Ali posters. You can say what you want about his politics, but
even though his politics were not really for America.
No, but he changed the way that people saw things. So I'm a big Muhammad Ali guy. What do you got?
Number 2, John Daly.
Oh,
John
man.
Daly is my number 2. I thought I should have said him number 1 now that I thought about it.
Yeah.
But he especially with like the American flag pants that he wears.
Yes.
And I think it's called like Smash Mouth or
Smash Mouth golf wear.
Which is it's awesome stuff. But yeah, I think John Daly, smoking cigarettes, drinking, golfing, that's America right there.
Yep. My number 2, I am going to go with Helen Keller.
Helen Keller.
Yeah, Helen Keller. Because to me, like being in education, like she did a lot for people with disabilities. So yeah, she doesn't get looked at. When you think of great Americans, not a lot of people think about Helen Keller, but
no,
a lot of acceptance.
Now that you brought it up, though, maybe more people will.
Maybe. So that's 2 from me.
You want to go with your third one?
Sure, I'll go with my third, and I'll keep rolling. And my list is going to be different because I'm a social studies teacher, and I look at my list a little bit differently. Number 3, I'm going Michael Jordan. Okay, that was an easy one. All right. Should have went LeBron just to piss you off a little bit, but that's okay. I'll take Michael Jordan at number 3.
My number 3, Michael Phelps.
Ooh,
Michael Phelps.
Good
I think
one.
he has the most medals in Olympic history, like 20-something. He went on that crazy run. He brought America together to love swimming for a few years there. So I say Michael Phelps is my number 3. My number 4, Ben Franklin.
Damn, that's a good choice. I had that on my list.
Invented electricity, which is
he didn't invent it.
Well, the light bulb, and he came up with it. Well, I'm going to say he invented it. I'm going to give him credit.
All right.
And everything we're doing here, air conditioning, lights, phones, everything I love, he helped bring to.
Also, love the ladies.
But whatever you.
Yeah.
That was a weird time.
It was.
But Ben Franklin, he. In this podcast wouldn't be. I'm gonna say it wouldn't be a thing without him.
I agree.
Shout out to Ben for this.
We couldn't run our computers without electricity.
Ben, thanks for typical Chicago
Thanks,
fans.
Benny. All right, my number 4. This is a guy you might not have ever heard of, but this is kind of the dork in me that again, not a lot of people get thanked a lot because, or not think a lot about. George Washington Carver. Do you know who that is?
Kind of.
He was like a scientist, an agricultural scientist who founded 300 different ways to use the peanut.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
He invented almost like peanut butter.
No, he actually. I looked it up. He did invent peanut butter, but he found 300 other ways. He turned
That's wild. He's just 300 other ways, but the one that's most used now didn't figure it out.
300 different ways to use a peanut. So that's my 4th.
My 5th is a little weird. It's a company it's Sitman and Pitt. They're in Brooklyn, New York, and they made the first.
Is this a new sponsor or something?
They made the first slot machine in 1891. So they are my favorite American company. I think they're a company that made just random shit, but Sitman and Pitt in Brooklyn, New York. I don't know if it was a bar or whatever it was, but first slot machine, 1891.
God, that's the best answer I've heard today. So I've got my 5th, right?
I was struggling with these too. I actually came up with some good ones.
Yeah, you had some really good ones.
I kept politics out of it.
See, I'm a politics guy.
I know.
If you ever want to talk politics, at Boomy TCF.
Sorry, they showed the play where he just missed the ball.
I'm going to go, and this is going to kind of have to, not really. I'll just go with my favorite president. Now, granted, he was a little bit of a socialist, and he kind of put Japanese people in a internment camp, but FDR, just because of the fact that a lot of things we use today would never have been built had it not been for his New Deal programs, like the highway parts of the highway system. And I know Eisenhower did that, but the roads and the different buildings and everything they built with the New Deal wouldn't have been around without FDR. So I gotta give my guy FDR.
So those are top 5 Americans. Let us know what your top 5 Americans are, who we missed, who you thought should be on there.
Oh, I had one that I should have put on there. Rodney Dangerfield. You know who that is?
No.
What? You don't know who Rodney? You never saw Caddyshack?
Never seen it.
How have you never seen Caddyshack?
Just never have.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to movie night.
Take it easy.
I can't get no respect around here.
Take it easy. But yeah, let's move into our new segment. Take it easy.
I feel like telling you to take. I'm so disappointed.
Take it easy. I'm gonna start off with mine.
All
it's
right.
Peter King. Peter King tweeted today. ESPN and the 30 for 30 before I go on, they had a 30 for 30 last night on who was it? Kobayashi.
Yeah.
And who's the
Jaws?
Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut.
It was a 30 for 30 on there, so it was kind of back and forth. I couldn't really watch it though because I don't need to see that much hot dog eating competition.
Yeah.
But he said ESPN and the 30 for 30 franchise has done some really great work, or really great docs and journalism. A shame that at least 1/5 of the children in America go to bed hungry nightly. They're highlighting. My thing just went up on me there. They're highlighting gluttony, treating someone who overeats excessively as a competitive athlete. Truly disgusting.
Peter King.
People go to 1/5 of the children in America go to bed hungry nightly, and they're highlighting gluttony and treating someone who overeats gluttony. Sorry, did I say gluten?
I was just helping you out.
It does kind of sound like gluttony. But and then Dan Ravel goes. Nathan donates 100,000 hot dogs to a food bank every 4th of July.
Yeah,
So take that. But Peter King, what are you sitting there all night worried? That's crazy. I understand. Yes, it's a little wild. It's a little different. You eat a lot of hot dogs, but really and truthfully, these hot dogs are just probably nasty hot dogs, anyways.
Yeah. They're like the bottom of the batch hot dogs. That, no one wants.
Peter King, take it easy. He's had to take it easy plenty of times before this, and this is what Twitter's just a wild space for old journalists like this.
Yeah. It's
just not a good place for him.
So in other words, Peter King.
Take it easy and get out of here.
My take it easy goes out to the Cubs AA affiliate, the Tennessee Smokies. Tennessee Smokies, just take it easy when it comes to politics. You're a minor league baseball team. Tonight, they tweeted, "Hey, at Kaepernick7, after a lot of thought, we have decided it's best to just do it." And in their infield, behind second base, they use sand to make an American flag look very nice, but they put the Betsy Ross flag out. That was the center of controversy yesterday.
Which was the one that Nike had taken
Pulled
off. I think they just pulled the shoe itself.
Yeah.
And what did the Tennessee Smokies say after that?
So,
after a lot of probably bad responses.
You want to see some funny responses.
That's probably a lopsided reply to favorite retweet there.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of replies.
Yes.
Probably a lot of replies.
They then responded with, regarding one of our recent tweets regarding at Kaepernick7 and our field design for tonight's game, it was meant to be a lighthearted take on a current situation. We did not mean to offend anyone by it. If we did, we certainly apologize. Here's my thing. If you're a minor league baseball team, don't get involved in anything politically.
And they took pictures of it. They had people out there standing there. It was just, they knew what they were doing when they did it. So
yeah,
take it easy.
Just take it easy.
Take it easy.
You're a baseball team, not a politician.
You're a minor league baseball team.
Yeah, exactly.
You're double A.
You're not even triple A.
You're not
cuz.
But just take it easy.
And I love the Tennessee Smoke. I've been to their games. They have a nice little stadium down there. But when it comes,
apparently not smart people running.
It's a baseball team.
So,
what are you doing?
Hey, Tennessee Smokies, take it easy. But thank you for joining us here on the 41st episode of Typical Chicago Fans, presented by Loop Sports. Like I said, this is coming out on July 4th. So if you want to watch it July 4th or anytime throughout the weekend, we are here for you for your filling of sports.
Put it on while you got the grill out, guys.
Yeah, maybe put it on while you got the buddies over there. Instead of music, you've got TCF in your ear, which is probably better than that. So
I agree.
I don't really know if that's the truth, but I would say maybe. But thank you again for being here, listening to us, watching us here on Typical Chicago Fans.
What happened?